The Hall Pass timer keeps track of how long students have been out of your class when they use the Hall Pass. It also saves this information in a database so that you can access it later during student accountability meetings with the student and parent-teacher conferences. To use this feature, you'll need a computer, laptop, Chromebook, or tablet computer to run the app in the corner of your room. Simply log in and click Start Hall Pass Timer. What's great about this is that it's automatic, which means that it doesn't require any input from the teacher, which means it won't interrupt your class flow. When a student wants to use the Hall Pass, they simply type in their email address and password that they use with their myclassroomwebsite.com account. If they don't have an account, they will have to create one and assign themselves to your class before they can use the timer. If a student forgets their email address, they can use this link to look it up. They simply select what period they're in and select their name from the list. They'll still need to enter their password in this box. If a student forgets their password, the teacher can enter the teacher's password, and that will also log out the student. Unfortunately, it requires the teacher to stop what they're doing, and it is an interruption to the class. Therefore, the student should use the Forgot Password link at their earliest convenience to reset their password to something they will remember. I'm going to type in Bubba's password so that he can log out to use the Hall Pass. You can see here that the timer has started. The computer also tells you how many minutes it's been since Bubba has last used the Hall Pass. Here you can see this is the first time he's used the pass today. It also keeps track of how many total times he's been out today and how many total class minutes he's lost as a result of that Hall Pass use. Some time has passed and Bubba has now returned from the bathroom. To stop the timer, he needs only enter his password again and hit the submit button. The pass timer has now stopped. You can see up at the top of the screen who the last person to use the restroom was and how long they were out of class. This comes in handy because my students will often have the Hall Pass in their pocket and they'll forget to put it back. When they do that, I'll ask who has the pass, and of course he's not paying attention and no one tells me where the pass is. So I can just look at the top of the screen and see that Bubba Gump is the last one to use the pass, and then I can ask Bubba where it's at. It's in his pocket and he can put it back. Now some more time has passed, and let's say that period 1 is now over and period 2 just started. As Bubba's period 2 teacher, I don't know that he just used the bathroom in period 1. He asks to use my pass and types in his email address and password. You can see now that the timer has started. Now I know that Bubba just used the bathroom pass just 6 minutes ago. I may tell him that he can't go at this point because he only just went a short time ago. As long as Bubba stops the timer within 1 minute, this record will not get added to his database. A few more things to note about the timer. You'll notice here there's a table to show you how many times the student has been out today and how many total minutes he's lost in each period. Only one student can be out of the class at a time. If another student attempts to use the timer before Bubba returns, it will tell him that he cannot go. Here I'm going to try to log out Ponce de Leon before Bubba returns. You'll see a message box appear that says that the email and password entered do not match those of the student that is currently out. Try again or wait for the last person to return. Students may also attempt to circumvent the timer by closing the browser, but that won't work. As soon as you reopen the browser, it will pick up right where it left off. Here you can see I've closed the browser and now we'll reopen it. All I have to do is click on Start the Hall Pass Timer again, and you can see that the timer picks up right where it left off without anyone needing to log back in or out. Once again, in order to stop the timer, Bubba will need to put in his email address and password. But what if Bubba does not return at all? If that happens, the teacher can log Bubba back in. Simply select what class Bubba is in, and then use the teacher's password. And that will log him out as well. When I was first designing this tool, I had to come up with a way to prevent students from using each other's usernames and passwords. For example, if Bubba knows that he's been out several times today, he may try to use Susie's username and password. If they're friends, they might have shared that information with one another. But you'll note that the name and timer appears in such large letters that if you have the computer's screen pointed anywhere within the room, no matter where the teacher's at, they'll be able to read Bubba's name very clearly at the top of the screen. If Bubba's the one that's checking out and Susie's name appears on the screen, the teacher will know right away that Bubba's trying to pull a fast one.